Hey, hello, hi, I'm here. Hi. I gotta tell you, I had to try to turn on the fan. Good old, good old Canadian homes. They're built to keep in heat in the winter. And so I batten everything down. And, wow, it gets really hot in here sometimes. I gotta keep the air flowing. You're probably wondering why I don't have my game up yet. Well, that's just because I forgot to press the button. Here it is. Oh, where are you? Here you are. Hi. I have a new fun little layout for you today. I was able to get it like that because this game is a square. I mean, there's like a border, but I just cut it out. No, actually, it's winter. It is winter here. It's just that the homes here in Canada tend to be built to keep in heat. So all the heat that comes in, and when you have heat coming through anyway, it really just stays. And sometimes I even just get a little hot. And sometimes it's not possible to open windows. Oftentimes they just freeze shut. That happens a lot. Yeah, it's gonna get a lot colder. Hi Twixie, hi Killer Bunny. It's so good to see you. And hi Greg, thank you so much again for the 20 months of resub. Wow, thank you so much. I think I gotta start making some new sub badges. I gotta figure out some new colors for that. I gotta figure out what I'm doing with that. Boo. Yeah, so today we are playing Ace. I can't seem to select out of this specific screen, but it is Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth, and it is a spin-off of the, of course, Ace Attorney series. It takes place in between 3 and 4, so between Trials and Tribulations and Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, which, if you recall, we actually just finished 5. That one is called Dual Destinies. That is 5. And this one jumps a little bit before that. This is between 3 and 4, essentially. You can kind of think of it as 2 trilogies, although they're not really 2 trilogies. Hey, Daisy, you made it. Good to see you. Investimatons. I'm gonna be crawling all over the floor. I'm gonna be doing that thing Sherlock was doing in A Study in Scarlet, where he was like crawling around in the dirt, trying to figure out what dirt it was. Yeah, that's gonna be me. You ain't doing that? Oh, too bad. Yeah, but yeah, the thing is, I could have went with 6, but I could have went on to Spirit of Justice, which is the 6th game, but people don't really have that much praise for it, to say the least. Not no praise, but I've heard some people say it's got some of the worst stuff in the series. I mean, I feel like every game has hits and misses, right? Just the way the game is structured, that not all of it is going to be good. It's like episodes of a show, essentially. No, actually, no, not even that, because oftentimes cases are not really linked that closely. Oftentimes time has passed between cases and they were just doing random stuff in between that. Oftentimes we're just like, hey, remember that case from like 6 months ago? Let's go through all of that in detail now. There's a whole lot of timeline jumping, so even if you plotted every event on a timeline, it wouldn't necessarily be these games and then these games. Yeah. I'm gonna be a little bigger. I'm gonna be a little bigger today. Oh, that's loud. Okay. Well, if we're all settled in and we're all snuggly, and you probably could have beaten the hardest game instead of this. What do you mean? What's the hardest game? Which game is the hardest one? There's nothing. There's not much that's harder than the law, you know. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the music. No more fun. You're gonna hear some cool music now, I think. I don't know. The first one's called Turnabout Visitor. It's like a tutorial thing, I guess. That's how it goes. All right, why don't we start? As always, let me know if audio is okay. Sounds okay on my end. It's March. Looking into this, question marks. To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why? Spooky, spooky. Why go this far? Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. Gun! No matter what the cost. I don't know if plot armor is gonna stop that bullet. What's going on? Oh my god, who are you? Oh, okay, yeah, I've definitely seen you before. I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. Okay, now we're in a room. Prosecutor's building at 2:05 in the morning. Great things always happen at the prosecutor's building at 2:05 in the morning, I'm sure. Yeah, that almost felt a little like a classic Ace Attorney game. That forehead. Yeah, he's kind of got a 5 head, doesn't he? Poor guy. The hairstyle is not helping. You could probably do something with the hair. Like a Yu-Gi-Oh, kind of. Yeah, that spiky hair vibe. Man, you've been awfully late lately, Stream Elements. You need to chill out on that. All right, 12th floor hallway of the prosecutor's building. There he is, our boy. Special boy himself. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. This place is gonna be a pigsty. Huh? The door is unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? Huh? What's the smell? It's very familiar. Blood? Oh! No! What the? Oh no! What's the meaning of this? Dead guy in his office? Freeze. Oh my god, this art is hard though. Oh my god. Identify yourself. Shut up. Huh. You've got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. Is that a threat? Yeah, maybe he's okay. Maybe he's just taking a nap. Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. Oh. My name is Miles Edgeworth. Giggy whippy. Honestly. People would have heard that and called the police. Maybe, but maybe he wasn't shot necessarily, right? Hang on just a moment. I'm going to turn off capture cursor. It looks a little better that way. Yeah, that's good. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrust into a multitude of cases, and some very frantic and busy days. Oh man, there are signs of a struggle here, aren't they? I finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. Dang, he is the boss. He's got a bunch of guys who are like, okay, boss. Love it. I wish I was one of those guys. Ah! Mr. Edgeworth, sir, are you okay, sir? Hey, there he is. Our boy, Ed Gumshoe. Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. This is Dick Gumshoe. He is a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. Okay, I like these sprites. These are nice and highly detailed. I like the way this looks. I like how it's mixing the pixels and the highly detailed sprites. I think that's good. Maybe a controversial take, but I like it. Here he is. Oh my gosh. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However, there was a murder. Ah, look what they did to your office. It's totally trashed. I'll say. The culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. You actually roleplay this? Oh, that sounds fun. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Bro, there's a body sitting there. My guy? Whoa, sounds like you're getting really burned up with this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. And it's my responsibility to get the captions back up and running. Hello? What? Captions? You just don't work anymore? It's like I can't. What? I can't see the window. Oh, hey. Oh, it's just on my other screen. Okay. That was freaking me out. I was like, I was like opening a window and it wasn't actually opening. Okay, here we go. Okay, that should be good. I'll just leave that open. Sorry about that. One moment. Okay, we good. Oh, that's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. Facts and leads. Lacks and feeds. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. He doesn't write anything down. He just goes by vibes alone. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? A crime scene in my office. It's a really coincidence that the murder took place in my office. Logic. Let logic be my steed. Objection. Yeah, exactly. Same game. I don't know if we do objections in this, actually. I know we do like testimonies or whatever, but I don't know if we're never actually in the courtroom here, since we're the prosecutor now. I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really, especially because of this. This? The key to your office? For security reasons, this office's door has a lock built into it. Oh, thank you. Locks make it so key doors are secure. Thank you. Very logical. I'll put that in my logic temple. What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. This is a great line. I love this. Use logic. Type of guy who capitalizes logic. This guy is such a Redditor. Logic. By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. So how do you use it? I feel like I'm playing an educational spin-off of an Ace Attorney game. I feel like this is Miles Teaches Typing. First, I recall information through the logic button, and then connect them together. Now, to touch the logic button to recall the facts. Entering the Mind Palace. Crime scene. Okay, we only have two, so I'm guessing we gotta put these two together. Connect. Wow. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks. Oh my god, that's actually word for word what I said. Which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? Yeah, it's like Blue's Clues, kind of. Why did this happen in my office? What was the killer after? You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Exactly, right? It's got like educational show vibe. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that, and when I want to examine something, I simply touch the examine button. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just touch the partner button, okay? Oh, that's cute. Presses the partner button. I'll give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. Whoa, okay, we moving? Oh, we moving. Whoa, okay, so we get like a on-screen touchpad when we play it like this. It really does, right? Okay, so. Yep, gameplay. We do actually walk around in the world in this version of the game. Let's see here. My prosecutor's badge. Organizer. Okay, no, that's the same thing. Logic. The killer's goal. Okay, I gotta find another lead that goes in with that one, I'm guessing. You called, sir. Notice anything? Is there anything you noticed that you'd like to share, Detective Gumshoe? Just that I rushed over here as soon as I heard there was a murder in your office, sir. The investigation's just gotten started, so I guess there's not much else to say. So, were you the one who found the body, Mr. Edgeworth? Unfortunately, upon my return, I found my office door to be unlocked. And what awaited me inside was this whole messy affair. Ouch, that's rough. Even though I left the security of this room to a certain detective. Sorry, sir. Aww. Investigating. I assume you understand how to conduct investigations, Detective Gumshoe. Hell yeah, let's hear about it. I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to get my edutainment hat on. Of course, sir. This has some Bara. Okay, you don't just see a hairy guy and you think Bara. That's not how that works. However, yaoi, yes, definitely there is that in this. That exists. That exists, although not really between these two guys, more between this guy and another guy. The blue and red, the you know, red and blue, you know, chocolate and vanilla, you know what I mean, you know what I mean? Oh, he's definitely a himbo. No, he's definitely, I mean, Bara and himbo are not the same thing, for one thing. But no, yeah, he's like an iconic himbo. Okay, I'm bonking you now. I'm bonking you now. Bonk, bonk, bonk. How do I? That was for all of you. Ah, that one was for me. Okay, I walked into that. By checking various things out, we gather evidence and information. You can see the evidence we've collected by touching the organizer button. For information and leads, it's the logic button. That's it. Great job, sir. Deductive reasonable is the way to go. It's called deductive reasoning, detective. Clearly something you lack. Well, he's a detective, though. That's nothing to sneeze at. Okay. Okay, so an examine button comes up. Ouch, they even knocked over your chess set. I had it all set up, ready for when you got back. I figured we could play a few games. I had no idea you were interested in chess. I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so I thought I'd give chess a try. In that case, I suppose I can set some time aside after we solve this case. Though I don't expect the game to tax my mental acuity much. Damn. Okay, I see a gun on the floor. That's gotta be relevant. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. I think I've seen one of these before. Care to enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know. I was issued the exact same model. I think. Detective. I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. But now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the one used by this precinct's detectives. Ah. So then, does that mean the culprit could be a detective? Gotta brain blast it. Okay, let's try this. Clearly not. Well, no, I mean it's like a Japanese detective, except they localize it as like America with a lot of where like in America where Japanese culture was allowed to flourish for 100 years. Affectionately referred to as Japanifornia. Honestly, kind of wish I lived in Japanifornia. I think that would be hype. Sounds like they're daring to dream of a better world. Okay, I see an exam in here. Is this yet another batch of fresh flowers? The ones that come with a card attached every month, like clockwork for you? Yep. Wait, who? Speaking of that, let's see what's on the card this month, sir. All will be resolved. Wendy. Oh my god, it's Wendy Oldbag. Oh, Miss Irony. How painful are thy thorns. This freaking guy. Wendy, isn't that the name of the old lady with the whiny voice that stuck? That's enough, detective. You need not remind me of that further. Ugh. San Francisco. Honestly, yeah, similar vibe. San Francisco. This is kind of more like Los Angeles area. So if you just go up north a little bit, then you get to San Francisco. Okay, examine. Oh, it's your trophy. The, Knight of Prosecutors, right? King of Prosecutors. And it's not a trophy, it's a shield. They only send this to the winning prosecutor, right? Yes, but I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. Love him. As for my own worth, that is something only I can determine for myself. That's so slick, sir. I'm gonna have to try saying that sometime. Unfortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to his worth to me. Oh no, salary cutting noises. Watch out for the teacup fragments there, sir. The killer is going to pay. This tea set. Yikes, you're really mad over this. This tea set is very dear to my heart. It can only be bought in England. It costs more than your whole month's paycheck. What? Now I feel like the killer's wasted one of my monthly paychecks. Oh my god. Edgeworth just openly gloats about making more money. I love that. Hilarious. Your files are over the floor, sir. They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. A good tea set is pretty cool. Why is it that Gumshoe always gets the pay cuts? Honestly, if we all took a small pay cut, then Gumshoe wouldn't have to take a big pay cut. Good old cops. Of course, they need to have money, right? It's almost like there's like this whole thing with the dark age of the law and how they need convictions, no matter how corrupt they have to be to get to it, and like how that kind of ties into like the police needing to have a certain budget. They need to, like, if anything, overrepresent crime so that they can convince cities to give them the same budget to fight crime and, you know, do police things. I saw a YouTube video about this actually recently. Anyway, he probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. And I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I watered the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it sparkled. Does he have a life? Oh my god, dude. Okay, I can talk to a guy here. Tell me the business, man. How is it coming along? Please, I need absolute silence. Fingerprint lifting is a delicate art. Well, I never. Well, I never. Okay, can we examine the body? They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Okay, I see it looks like a wallet here. What do we have here? Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. It's a police badge, detective. Oh, hey, I have the exact same thing actually. What a coinky dink. Let's take a look inside. Mr. Buddy Faith. It would appear that our victim was a detective just like you. Oh. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Oh, Edgeworth, nothing you do is calmly. But anyway. Two leads to connect. I feel like the killer's goal. Can we connect that? I can't see a clip. Come on, yes you can. Shut up. Shut up. Yes you can. Revolver. Okay, well. Revolver. Victim was a detective. That should be it. Boing. I like how there's a visual cue that you got it right. That's cool. I always like that in games. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What have we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. This guy's wearing a gun holster. So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. Alright, if you say so. I keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to touch the organizer button. But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's like the infinite knowledge book. It's like what you learn at Harvard put together with what you don't learn at Harvard. It'd probably be a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver. As I always say, you've got to look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use the scroll wheels to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use the slide bar to zoom in and out and get at the nitty-gritty. The nitty-gritty. Wow, rotating 3D gun. Wow. Joel Pride. Joel Gun. Okay, something about the... I don't even know what a gun looks like. Maybe here. Ah. Handle. Oh, yes. It looks like only one round was fired from this. Wow, so the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wresting the gun from him? Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. Okay. Wait, is that all there was then? Huh. Let's give the body a once over. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. It looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yup, and until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Okay. I guess this is about all we're going to find out. We should send the body to Jim! Why? Oh, why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? Wait, this is the guy who did the shooty at the beginning, right? Oh my god, is this another one of those situations where we know he did it, but the characters don't know? I love it. So good. Perfect tutorial case. Are you alright? Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be! Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't just talk about him like he's some lump of flesh. Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Sure, just in a bloodstained suit, pal. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes, I am. I'm Jacques Portsman, prosecutor. Oh, no. This guy is gonna be... This guy... you hate that guy now? You think he's gonna be divisive? Jim here was my partner in crime busting. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I am also a prosecutor. Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office. Yes, that is correct. Then it was you. You're the one who killed Jim. He totally took something. Yeah, he had one of those Panera Bread charged lemonades that have like 2 energy drinks worth of caffeine. He's on that Panera Bread stuff. Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not. I know how things work around here. High prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. And only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. The death lemonade. Oh, it's so bad. Like, I don't even know how that's allowed to be sold. I mean, I get that they're like locking it up and like making you ask for it. I saw pictures of it like as like a self-serve dispenser, and I'm like, yeah, they probably shouldn't do that. I feel like just for sanitary reasons too, they probably shouldn't do that. I mean, fountain drinks are a little different, but that's not, it's just like literally like a freestanding thing. I don't know, yeah. It seems a little weird. That feels like too much caffeine. But I don't know, maybe everyone's different. Like you can't, I think even like they can't sell energy drinks with that much caffeine in Canada. Like even like the really high caffeine, like they end up selling like a version that has a lot less of it. I think there's like limits. But anyway, yeah. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could get in here was me. Ho 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 ho. Wait, that means the DMC drink? Is that a thing? I would drink the DMC. Oh, do you mean virility? I know what you mean now. Yeah. Yeah, apparently that was like, it had like demon power in it and it was making people stupid or whatever. You know what? A cola or a lime soda, that's a pretty good split. I like that. I am very partial to Diet Coke. That's kind of my go-to beverage if I want like something that's carbonated, I guess you could say. It's like it has some caffeine, but it's not like energy drink level caffeine. It's just kind of it just kind of gives you a little kick, you know? Just a little kick. Wait, that means I'm not sure what that means. So it was you then. You're Jim's killer. No way, pal. You've got it all wrong. Everyone calm down. Mr. Portsman, correct? If you are a real prosecutor, you should know to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know? Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now how about a handshake to seal the deal? A pleasure to work with you. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on then, it's your room after all. Thank you, I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there, sir. Oh, dang. Dapping his boy up. I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. What? Wait, what? What? Huh? I should probably give them some space. Should you? I was... What? That's so weird. Okay. How's it coming along? Please, in Yasu's signs, this picture is too important to mess up. I'll leave the man to his art. Do you have anything to report? Sir, yes sir, nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir. And yet there's something out of the ordinary right in front of my eyes. Talk about a contradiction. Something out of the ordinary, huh? I should look around a bit more. Am I missing something? Oh wait, there is this. Ah, your jacket, sir. What's it doing on the floor? It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well. They dared to shoot the ultra-special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in? What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not when there's something more here. Huh? Like what? I take it you haven't noticed it, Detective. There is a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Really? Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. He? Sorry, he? I'm starting to sound like him? Sorry, him? Sorry, him? Huh? Joel Pride? But I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my detective skills come into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. This is it. This bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should touch the deduce button with conviction. Conviction! And when I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. The gun only had one round out. Ooh, good catch. But there must have been at least one bullet. What happened? Where was the other? Where did the other one come from? This is how I do things. Hmm. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what you're supposed to do from here. Oh, okay, so I had to press the victim's revolver. Eureka! This bullet hole is the contradiction. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim, and the second felled this frame. Hey, that's right. However, this gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true too. Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? Oh. By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? Ah, that. It's a secret safe. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money. I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move the frame out of the way. Watch that. Achoo! Achoo! Talk about dusty. I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here, or I've kept it clean for you, sir. So, when did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea. Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. So what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session. That's it? Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Now this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad, don't you find it to be a bit too clean? Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself. You there, the forensic scientist. Guy who doesn't even bother to learn anybody's name. Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? Dustbird, hey! Edgeworth! He's here! And he's gonna be here. Oh my gosh, he is gonna be taking up so much of my screen real estate. Good to see you. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift, a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. Logic. Into my mind palace it goes. As I thought, it appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have. Logic. So then, Let me see here. The killer's goal. White fingerprints. What was the killer after? All of the fingerprints of this have been wiped clean off. This has got to be it. Boy, yay! I believe I have figured out what the murderer was after. Well, what is it, sir? The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. Okay. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. Oh, I gotta connect two leads. Motive theft. Files are a mess. Signs of a struggle. Motive theft. Question mark. It's gotta be that, right? Whoosh. There is a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between a victim and his killer. Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir? Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir. I'm gonna shelve files like you've never seen before, even at a library. Sure. Let's give that a try. Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. Edgeworth to a guy who's mourning his friend. Well, he's gonna be dead. he's like, bro, you can't fix this. Only I can fix this. And so what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. You got it. Here, let me help. So this file goes here, and that book goes there. You should know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done. Like Sakura from Naruto. Been a while since I've watched that one. It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here. Bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh. I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. And then the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out. Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now. You know I'm no good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. Okay. Looks like it's pooling here. It appears that the victim was in a sitting position here after being shot. Oh, so that's why the seat of the victim's pants has blood on it. That would be the logical conclusion. Oh, okay. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Could it be a secret safe? I'm kind of a little worried about considering my health here. We'll go back on this. This is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh? For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in a file spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred. Then I guess the victim was moved here because he was in the killer's way. Can we deduce this? Spot. I think this might be connected to the revolver? Or no, crime scene notes. Bullet went clean through the abdomen. Eureka! There's clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. And it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused the problem with the bullet's position? The position of the order of the files? Is that? I believe the order of the files is a bit off. You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think that the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Oh? Yeah, you see here how the files that were shot begin with the number 0? What are those doing all the way down there after some 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They are exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. Those white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, Detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. Do you think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it moved? They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith, and then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly, and then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime. But why? The culprit rearranged the files twice, once before and once after. Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. Okay. These handprints belong to the victim, right? They make sense with the body position. Yes, he must have left them when he was trying to support him after he was shot. Why did he check the files? Well, he did say they were special. Maybe there was some info he was looking for. However, the final position of the body shows that it was moved. I need to go over this crime scene with a fine-toothed comb one more time. Okay. There must be some reason as to why the victim's body was moved. But there is no time to ponder that now. Let us continue on our investigation, Detective. Roger that, sir. I'm raring to go. Wait, there's something written over there. This. What is that? Why does it say Gumshoe on there in blood? I'd say it's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Oh yes, definitely incriminating. People always write their names in blood at the scene of a murder. If they did it. Whenever everybody knows that when you do a murder, you dip your finger in blood and write your name nearby. So people know it was you. Yes, indicative of criminal activity, indeed. No, wait, there's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me. Say something, sir. It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is this what the killer was really after? Ah. Investigation complete. Yay! We did it. Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words, they're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it. Oh my gosh, a logic battle. I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you gonna do? What I always do in court. I'm gonna cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? I guess we should figure out how to do it. Alright, first I listen to the witness's testimony. If I find a flaw... Oh my god, this track is kind of a banger too, right? Something that contradicts the evidence. I open the organizer and present the piece of contradictory evidence. To present something, I simply touch the present button, but that's old news. But it's not like there's going to be a flaw in their testimony every time, right? Correct, and at those times, I need to press the witness by touching the press button. Sometimes by pressing, I can draw out new information and new or modified testimony. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much the testimony system from the other one. Oh, excuse me, one moment. Oh, okay. I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during investigations, too. Very well. I'll even show you how it's done. Now watch carefully. Oh. A battle of the minds. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. I believe that Detective Gumshoe was eating cereal once and he found inside the box a detective badge, and that's how he became a detective. Honestly, that's how it should work. Whatever you get out of a cereal box, that's your job now. Even if you become a detective. Or the president. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer? I can hear Jim's voice, and he's calling for his killer's arrest. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic, and expose it with credible evidence. Rebuttal. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Hold it. You know, there's been something I've been meaning to ask. What is it? Why do you call the victim Jim? New young adult dystopia, the cereal box games. Yeah. Oh my god. Find your role in the Hunger Games in specially marked boxes of whatever. Sorry, I'm munching. I got munchy all of a sudden. Why do you call the victim Jim, when clearly his name is Buddy Faith? Isn't it obvious? Jim is the perfect name for my companion. Jacques and Jim. Don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jam? I have some Doritos behind me. Actually, it's the same ones. I forgot about the Doritos that we had. And I only just got into them recently. But Jim isn't even close to that guy's real name. Well, Jacques and Buddy just sounds off somehow. Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys I decided to nickname Jim. Okay. Huh, he talks about the victim like he was his pet. Further, you messed up the first time. Messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft. Do you really think it was necessary to dishevel my shelves twice to do that? That's true. Okay, then maybe his real intent was theft. Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth? It's a possibility. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life is getting a little too rough to handle. I'll have you know that I eat 3 square meals a day every day, pal. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but man, poor guy. Poor thing, what an evil prosecutor you were paired up with. And what a motive, no? That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. Why do you think that the killer didn't notice the bloody letters? The body was covering it quite well, wouldn't you say? That's how he missed it. But judging by what I've seen, it doesn't take much for your detective to miss something. Who do you think you are? You know nothing about me, pal. There's a lot a person can understand about another from first impressions alone. I can't say I disagree with him on that point. Why don't you say something, sir? Oh no. Oh dear. Oh. Hey, are we back? Wah! Twitch! Up to your old tricks again. Oh, we're back. Okay. Yeah, we back. Alright. Okay, so, yeah. Twitch has been having so many problems lately. Oh my goodness. Why don't you say something, sir? Ugh, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth. Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective to be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it, with evidence. I couldn't ask for a better setup for the game-finishing Spike. And it will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. Are you saying that those letters were intended for you? Yup, Jim was an outstanding detective. I would expect no less from my former partner. It looks like Mr. Portsman still doesn't understand. That he has yet to figure out the true meaning behind the bloody letters. What are you sputtering over there? Can't you just admit my logic is perfectly sound? Actually, there's a gigantic flaw in his logic. A gap so wide that even the good detective can spot it. Now to clue Mr. Portsman in by presenting him with some evidence. Okay. Evidence. Evidence. Evidenced. We do have that, don't we? Thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. But hold on. We have something here. One of them was stolen. Which means... that was stolen after the murder. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic. Yeah, bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem, I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking, I get it. Ha ha ha. If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible! What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines. What if it was Godot, and he couldn't see it because it was red? It's possible that they could have taken the file before committing the murder. If you have time to lie, you have time to take another look at this. It's such a department manager lie, Edgeworth. Literally, I know he runs that grocery store like it's the Navy. I know he runs the meat department of a grocery store like the Navy. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective's name is where the file should be, is proof. Yeah, I mean the S is gone and there's only half an H. If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Which means, what exactly? What does that make this dying message? It makes the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene. Salary cutting noises. That's so low. I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see. I'm gonna have him under arrest in no time. Well, Mr. Portsman? Ha 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 ha. Brilliant. Absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. You win some and lose some, that's how life goes. Glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. But you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however. What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office? That would be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal. What? That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. I feel more dead than alive. A man is dead, Richard. He's behind us right now. Blood is pooling at our feet. Then why do I sense that you still have something to say? Oh, stop that. It's obscene. Well, I was thinking, did you know that there was one other person with a key to this office? One other person? Hey, you there. Yes, sir. What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch the escort, Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me? Lovely young lady? A lady? The girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Security? Did you say security? No, stop it, pal, don't. What's wrong with him all of a sudden? I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bird. Oh, we've seen her before. A member of security. Oh my god, hi. Detective Gumshoe, sir. Maggie. Miss Bird is the security guard on watch tonight. I see, and your point is? My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building. What? If you are not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird. Miss Maggie Bird, you will always be famous. How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room. That's right. I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right. I did it. Can we take that as a confession, detective? Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, detective. He understands what I'm saying here. Stop that. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason. Reason for suspicion. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into the room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all that more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. So you're saying she used the master key? Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. It seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him. Ah. We're doing a lot of pressing in this one, aren't we? Uh-huh. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird's stuck in 2 rooms during the master key. Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could use the master key? There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird? That's, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, moving on. I'd hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated. What do you mean unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal. Let her cook. But you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time. Should I hear Miss Bird out? I think we should. Not so fast. I too am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say. Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that. Miss Bird, if you please. I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 AM, sir. What do you mean by missing? As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsman, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words. I'm not lying, sir. If that's the case, then I'd like to know why you have the master key now. I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. Ha, a likely story. And where is your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? Sorry, just 1 sec. Hi, Maga, welcome. Hang on, quit jumping on my bed. I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again. I never lose things, I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Yeah, pal, trust me, you don't want to test just how bad her luck is. Oh, yikes, man. Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth. But you still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office. Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. It is as Mr. Portsman says, Detective. This is the HD remaster. Yes, it's on, mobile. Yeah, this is it. I can't ignore the facts that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counteract with a few facts of my own. Her intent, okay. Thievery. But the person went into the safe though, right? Or at least tried to go into the safe. A normal security guard wouldn't necessarily know about that. Yeah, I'm having a good time so far. It's refreshing. Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. Yeah, that would be great. I hope we get an official translation of the second game. A lot of people really love the second game, from what I've heard. That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe, the existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. Ah! I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was a part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. It adds dubbed objection lines. That's really cool. Yeah, even I didn't know about that safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either. That's really awesome. I love fan work. Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? Curses, why? What made you... What's with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault. What do you mean? It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret safes. What did you just say? We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. I don't know if it's quite like that, but anyway, that's what I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes. Then that means... Yeah, I know. I'd only just told him too. Obviously, it was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into our room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief. And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bird. Excuse me? The vibes are so ranted with this guy, honestly. I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is going a bit too far, even your risky profession. What the? You're still accusing Maggie of murder? Yes and no. I mean, she stumbled upon Jim, who probably drawn his gun. Investigations 2 does for investigations what Dual Destiny should have done for Apollo. That's a very convincing argument, to be honest. I'm almost looking forward to that one now. Let's get through this one, though. This one is, I mean, I'm still getting used to the new mechanics, honestly. It's like new but old. I don't know. People love this game, though, so I think it'll be okay. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it? No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir. Plus, even if he was a thief, he wouldn't have a key to this office. Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? Is it 1 case per game? No, there's typically about 5 cases per game. This one, I think, has 5. Yeah, it's usually 5 cases, and the first case is like a shorter tutorial case, which is what this one is right now. It was Jim who stole the master key. Ah! Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us. Unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense. Has he no honor? Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out? Hello? You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office. Ah, but I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You are all suspects to varying degrees, and therefore ineligible to run this show. Listen, pal, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. Sir, we have no choice but to accommodate his request. For now. Haha, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman. We will meet again. If that's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now don't disappoint me, you hear? Oh, this guy sucks. To be continued. La 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 la. All right. I think. Wait, is that the end? That's the end of the. Is that the end of the case? I think that's the end of the. Or no, no. This is another part of the same case. Okay, so this is part 2. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do a new save file. Okay, yes, this is part 2. It's like made into 2 chunks. One case is 2 chunks, at least in this case. It's 4:18 a.m. Man, nothing good ever happens at 4:18 a.m. in the 12th floor hallway. What is it with that prosecutor? I can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable. Please maintain your professionalism, detective. I'm gonna find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir. I like that. Actually, I really like that. Sometimes it really felt like it dragged because I would have to, like, especially from a stream, and it's like I have to do like, sometimes a case will be really long, or sometimes like the trial part of it will be really long, and I want to make sure. That's why I always ended up ending in the middle of like trials or whatever. I'll be able to actually block that off a little better now. That's good. That's really good. But we've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir. True. So then what now? Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch. Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway. Really, sir? For example, this hallway. The linchpin of his argument against Mr. Bird Miss Bird is related to the master key. In that case, the hallway is the perfect place to look more information regarding the mystery surrounding my door. Boom, boom, boom. I see a basketball. Who is ballin'? Edgeworth will never be ballin'. What is a basketball doing here? That's Mr. Portsman's prized possession, sir. I heard he also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis. And not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in a hallway. Wait, there's like a hoop here. Who was hooping here? What is a basketball hoop doing here? Hey, didn't this used to be just outside next to the building a long time ago? So when and why was it moved indoors? I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently. Drag it? I heard that it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it himself. All the way up to the 12th floor? Okay, who's the— oh my god, is this Winston Payne? It looks like you're in quite the pinch, Mr. Edgeworth. To be sure, a murder within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. We must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly, post-haste. Sounds like a messy case you've got on your hands. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open. How gracious, I will keep your offer in mind. Who is this guy again? He's Winston Payne. Oh, he doesn't remember his name. I love that. That's so funny. I love being in Edgeworth's mind. He sees things so differently. What about this guy? Is everything all right? Yes, sir. If you must, sir, I weighed myself this morning, and I'm finally at 154 pounds. Congratulations, but I was asking about this hallway in this room. Oh, everything's okay, sir. A word of advice. Stay focused, or you may start to lose even more weight. Okay. Alright. Oh, I see something here. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. What's this one? It's... isn't that the missing O-Series files, sir? No doubt about it. The bloody letters mark it clear as day. There seems to be a few pages missing. Our thief took only what was necessary and left the rest behind. So what are these 0 files about, sir? I guess they've got something worth stealing in them, huh? Not particularly. It's just a collection of court case files. However, the cases within these files are not mine. Huh? They belong to the High Prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were. Then that means the thief must have also wanted the file for a specific reason, right? It would seem so. Only the pages related to that case from 10 years ago are missing. I wonder why anyone would care about such an old case. Okay. Well-crafted, high-quality sofa for visitors. The stitching is excellent. Talk about a luxury waiting area. These babies are also great for napping, you know? You would sleep even out here, detective, in a hallway? Whenever I do, I always wind up dreaming about giving testimony up on the stand. But it always ends up the same way. Me getting trounced by a lawyer. Isn't that awful? Maybe I should give it a try sometime. To envision myself winning, naturally. I want to sleep on this. So comfy. Okay, examine. This office. 1203. 1203. Hey, Maggie, whose room is this again? It's Mr. Portsman, sir. So he's my new neighbor. I see. I suppose he moved in while I was away overseas. So he's the one who put the hoop here. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. I don't see any signs of forced entry, and according to the guard, no signs that the lock was picked either, sir. Meaning that the door really was open with a key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob? Apparently the doorknob's clean as a whistle. Wiped, they think. Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind. What about the sign? 1202, these 4 numbers on a number plate alone proclaim this to be my office. Whoops. Hey, these number plates slide right out, sir. They have to be able to take the plate off when a room becomes vacant, you know? Although, the idea that it can be so easily removed is kind of... A minimalist, yet classy door made of top quality wood. It's sturdily made, making it near impossible to break in by force. It's almost majestic, sir. I wish I could be as stately as this door. Only Gumshoe would praise a door as something greater than himself. Buddy, you were just praising the door. Being a detective has its own rewards and a certain virtuous value, I think. If you live up to your full potential, that's a poignant trait that anyone can admire. I see. So you're saying, sir, that me being me is the best thing I could do for everyone? Right. That long pause wasn't exactly reassuring, sir. Oh man, this banta. Okay, that's the same thing. What am I looking for here? Bow, bow. Let me see. Oh, I had to talk to Maggie, I guess. I was wondering if I may speak with you for a little bit concerning this case. I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth. Oh my god. I can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key. Should jog her memory by showing my notes to her through the present button. I show her, I think, the master key. So when did you discover that the master key was missing? By the time I realized it, I think it was around 1 a.m., sir. And I noticed it was back at around 2:30 a.m. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. But I'm sure that between those 2 times it was not just gone, but stolen, sir. Okay, cool. Why is this such an important key stored in such an insecure place? It's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window. Always, you say, except for this time, correct? Well, I admit that was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. I left it up because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after I had used it that I left it sitting out on the ledge. She used the master key. Uh-huh. The victim. Have you ever met the victim before? Well, I've seen him a couple times before when I had to go to Mr. Portsman's office. Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portsman, sir. That sounds like fun. Just once I'd love to play with them. It sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith ever did was passing the ball, sir. On second thought, I don't think I'd fit in all that well with them. Use the master key? What did you mean by you used the master key? Oh, I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten this key. I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right? Ah, what is it? That's right, I just remembered. The prosecutor who forgot his key. It was Mr. Portsman, sir. What? Please tell me more, Mr. Bird, quickly. Forgetful Mr. Portsman. It was around 12 a.m. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir. And that's when you loaned the master key to him? No way, it's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. I walked with Mr. Portsman to his office and opened the door for him personally, sir. I see. And then what happened after that? Well, he called for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 a.m., I think. So, in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight. Talk about suspicious. I doubt you can say you've never left your keys at home, detective. I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door. Maggie Bird. Miss Maggie Bird, correct? I take it that you are an acquaintance of the This is probably what I was supposed to say first. She was under my supervision back when she was on the force, sir. One day she got caught up in a murder and things started going downhill, so she quit. But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. Or so I thought until a few hours ago. Right before I was about to clock out for the night. Yeah, she's cute. She's good. Maggie Bird, I love you. You got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct? Don't worry, my whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Since I was 6 months old, when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building, I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've ever taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster, and now I even managed to be named a criminal when I've become a security guard. That's a lot to go through in one lifetime. I know, and just when I thought I had finally found my happiness, I wind up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck. You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bird, nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I can ask in return is for your cooperation. Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth, you can count on me. I'll do all I can to help. Okay, I think that's it. Is there anything else I present to her? Okay, so I think we're actually using the logic. Master key was stolen, and then it was used. This key went missing from approximately 1 a.m. until 2:30. This key was used to unlock and lock Portsman's office at 12 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. That's right within the window. Ooh! Bad luck, yeah. Miss Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story. What? No way, pal. I mean, sir. You said that you locked up Mr. Portsman's office at around 1:30 a.m., correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time. Wow, nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw that contradiction like a pro. I totally forgot all about that, but thanks to you, I remember it now. You're right, it was around that very time that I realized the master key was missing. And? Well, I'm a security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I? So I pretended to lock up his room, sir. You pretended? Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking up, sir. So, in actuality, you never did relock the door then? Well, I thought that maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly. Oh, that's not great. That's not great. Let's go check out that door. Look at that. That is a locked door. Or no, it's locked. Or yeah, it is locked. Wait, really? Why is it not locked? I mean, why is it locked? Hang on. Wait. I gotta deduce it. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Okay. Mr. Okay, you present that onto its own thing. Okay, that makes sense. If what Miss Bird has said is true, then why is this door locked tight? Huh? You know, you're right. Miss Bird, are you sure you didn't relock this door? I am certain of it, sir. And I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed it himself that I hadn't. Which means what, sir? It either means that he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door Miss Bird opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one. Hey, you know what? They did note that the door sign thing could be slid out easily. Maybe they were changed somehow. She opened a different door, but how can you prove that? There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is we need to examine these. Prints on the number plate? Oh no, prints on the doorknob. The prints on the doorknob will tell us everything. Hey you pal, do us a favor and see what you can lift from this, okay? So, what did you find out? There's no need for such belligerent nostril flaring, detective. Sir, I found only Mr. Portsman and Mr. Faith's prints on this doorknob. So only two people's prints were found on this, huh? That's pretty decisive. I'm lost, sir. Thinking logically, a certain other person's prints should be on this knob as well. Now then, whose print should also be on this doorknob? Probably Maggie, right? Don't you find it odd that the prints of the person who unlocked this door are absent? You mean, yes, the door that Miss Bird opened could not have been this one, but a different one. Oh. What have we here? I won't rest until I've... Okay, he doesn't need to say that every... Wait, whoa, ho, what's that? What is this? Looks like a scrap of paper. This is a detective game where the only detective is not doing the detective work. Yeah, I think... from what I know, I think Miles Edgeworth is pretty unique in that he usually does his own investigations. He kind of just uses his detective as his errand boy. Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it. I brought the 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're out. Guess I'll catch up to you later. Looks like a note. And it's for Mr. Portsman. Oh, he can rise. Okay. Oh, wait, there's something here, huh? What's this? What are you looking at, sir? Oh, hey, how about a game? That's okay, detective. I just found the position of this hoop to be a little off. Hey, you're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a seriously sweet slam dunk. The positioning of the hoop is definitely unnatural. I better take note of this. Who let this guy put a basketball hoop in the hallway? Who let my man cook? Poking around in this hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely. Huh? How so, sir? In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit of this case. You know who the killer is? Wow, Mr. Edgeworth. As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman. What? Mr. Portsman? I knew it. That's exactly what my logic senses were telling me, too. I suspected it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir. That is anything but logical. Lady and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Come what may, it's time to knock on truth's door. God, he's such a nerd. I love him. Mr. Portsman, I finished processing the bloody letters, sir. All right, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here. Damn, nice. Okay, looking good. You there, take good care of this. Gwa! Ow! Well, if it isn't Detective Gumshoe. End of the line for you, Portsman. We've got you now. Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke? It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jacques Portman, that you are the guilty party in this case. Oh! You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. So I guess you can stay, if you promise to stay out of our way. You intend to hide your crime under the guise of prosecutor doing his job? I can see right through the unsightly paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl. Haha, who'd have ever thought it was come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? Oh, the legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years. But there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Really teaches me that I gotta stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know? Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. The only thing you should be using that mouth of yours for now is explaining yourself. Although that too will only dug your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up. Well, aren't we full of ourselves? Even though you have yet to prove anything. Ah. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, how may I ask, do you propose I unlock the door and got in here? Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here. Sorry, but we are not finished yet. Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations on something? I'll show you what I'm basing my accusation on. With evidence. Yo, it's going down. These guys are gonna fight. They are throwing down. They're gonna do the Yakuza rip the shirt off and reveal the tattoo thing. So cool. Amazing. Because you used the master key. You just stole it. How do you propose I unlock the door? Using the master key that you stole, obviously. They really named this guy Jock Sportsman. They really did. I love it. I believe you were able to open my office door with the master key, no less. Wait. Hold on for a sec. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know. Precisely, you were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. That's right, you used your finger to direct this person to open my door with the key. Oh, he made Maggie did it and tricked her with the signage. Oh, got him. You had asked Miss Bird to open your own office door for you, yes? Yeah, I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know? But the room you had Miss Bird open at that time was not your own, was it? What? You have quite the imagination. But why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we? Oh, I thought she was full of lies before. I'm certain that it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure it was opening the right door. He switched him. See, Miss Bird backs up my story. Yet, what if you had misled her to fool her into thinking what you wanted? Ha, and how do you suppose I did that? By switching the number plates on our doors, for example. That's right, they do slide out pretty easily. Furthermore, you then used one other thing to give a very strong impression. that the door she was opening was yours and not, in fact, mine. What was it that Mr. Portsman used to make Miss Bird think it was in his room? Oh, the hoop. He was ballin'. Miles Edgeworth would never be ballin'. What, the basketball hoop, sir? It's quite the peculiar fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building, which is why it left an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor. Gwah! That's very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door I was opening had to be Mr. Portsman's. There are signs that the hoop has been moved. To sit it in front of my office, to be sure. He only balls in the courtroom. Yeah, that's where he gets his dunks. I see. So that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture is a little off the racetrack. Conjecture's rebuttal. Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me. So his whole testimony is just nuh-uh. Amazing. So he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he? I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket. And Miss Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears. My jacket's not dirty, I'll have you know. I just washed it yesterday. Please calm down, for I intend to show who is the one truly covered in slime here. Oh, what a line. Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. Okay, so we're gonna use this. The note left by victim. So he assumed that was his office too. That was a lie. What are you talking about? How is that a lie? This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman. A note? It was left under your door, or did you not notice? And right here it says, "But you're out." Yeah, so he thought he was, so he was in Edgeworth's office, but his buddy called on him and didn't realize, or thought he was out because he wasn't in his room. You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So then where were you and what were you doing? Ah! Shall I explain it in full detail for you? You were busy snooping around in my room, the very room you had Miss Bird open for you. That's just nonsense. Wait, was that Phoenix's objection? I don't think this guy... I think that was Phoenix. You have no evidence that I made the girl open your door for me. Oh, but I do. I have very decisive evidence. No way. This is proof positive that you had Miss Bird open the door for you. Oh, this music is a banger. You have to present the office here. I had your door dusted for prints. My door? What for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time. You're right, I didn't find anything, and definitely not Miss Bird's fingerprints. Literally, this guy has no originality, no vibes. He's just rancid. Her prints? What do they have to do with anything? Let's put it this way. If she really was the one who opened your door, then her prints should naturally be on the doorknob she touched. Ah! It's really good. It's a banger. Further, all the prints on my office door's knob has been wiped clean off. I can only assume it's because Miss Bird's fingerprints were on it. Don't you think it's time you gave up your charade? We know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me, and Detective Faith found you out, possibly because he heard sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Mr. Portsman, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. As I said, when you had the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office. Is this breakdown? Ha 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 ha! He's gonna transform! And just what's so funny, pal? Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutor, as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me, is simply too much to bear. But out in the hallway is fine by me, that's not my problem. There's just nothing else like it in the world. What? Mr. Edgeworth just explained it all, and you've even backed it up. You're the murderer. Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already. And as I said earlier, it's all so circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints? Well, I can readily confess that I had wiped that knob down well. I'm a little obsessive-compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched. Which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. He's literally making that up. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim's and my own prints would be on there. You made that up just now, didn't you? Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Like early evening, for example. Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway? Hey, even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters, although that's no excuse. Nah, that's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size. But you can't prove that, can you? Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here, sir. Portsman makes a good point. I can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it. Besides, I have an airtight alibi. Airtight, you say? I only realized that I had one just now as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I had told you sooner. Here we go again. Ah, shit, here we go again. If memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 a.m., correct? And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around, I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi. Do you really think it's that perfect? Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like, you'll see for yourself. Detective Gumshoe. Sir, yes sir, I'll go check out his alibi, sir. Be right back. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portsman said. The guys down in criminal affairs said they saw him at around 2 a.m. You see? All of the evidence points to him being the culprit. So there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere. Let's rebut. I will rebut you. Memory serves, you came back. Okay, so we gotta press the heck out of this stuff. You are correct, it was around 2 a.m. Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with the time. I remember checking my watch then, and make no mistake, it was 2. Ooh, giving testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office at 2. How would he know indeed? Indeed, very much so. And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint. It is as you say, however. Yes, however, you are the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me who you saw? It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see. Oh, come now, I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you? I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here. Oh well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. So you paid the criminal affairs department a visit? Yep, right after I left the prosecutor's building, I headed straight for the precinct. Ask around, I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate. It's the perfect alibi. Well, we did go and ask around to confirm your testimony. And it was just as I said, right? Yes, sir. A number of detectives said that they saw you at around that time. See, I have the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up in my sleeve. I don't think you should gloat about it like that. Ugh. Impossible. He actually does have the perfect alibi. What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face? Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we've reached the end of the line and it's time to get off this crazy train. You there. Sir, please escort the young lady out, but remember, be gentle. Maggie! Detective Gumshoe! No. Or nor. Is there nothing I can do? There must be a way to turn this situation around. If only I had a clue. Did I miss something that would cast doubt on his alibi? Mr. Portsman's alibi. The intruder I met could not have been Portsman. Then who could it have been? Okay, we need to logic this. Mr. Portsman's alibi. But he would also be issued a gun as a detective, right? That could be where the other handgun came from. There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One that robbed Mr. Faith of his life. And one that nearly robbed me of my jacket. Clearly equal things. However, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once. Meaning that it is entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But seeing as how the killer had to steal Mr. Faith's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person. Which could mean that there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight. Ooh, maybe the victim and the killer weren't the only ones. Okay, well, I'm guessing these are the only 2 choices we have left. Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight, that would also resolve the issue of why my shelves were upended twice. We know that the shelves were disturbed once before and once after the murder, so it shouldn't be much of a stretch to think that it was the work of 2 different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun and then killed him with it, and once again after the murder by our second culprit, who was the owner of the second gun. If we suppose that the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back... Objection! Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case. Great, so you finally come to your senses. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, what are you saying? This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I had assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case. What do you mean? That person I ran into was just your average thief. A thief? But, sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts? Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality, 2 culprits stole into my office tonight. What do you mean 2? It explains both why my shelves were disturbed twice and how there were 2 guns. Mr. Portsman tricked Miss Bird and gained entry into my office. Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know. If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Ugh. Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me, which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time. So then this would be when the files were put back in the wrong order, right? Correct. And then, just when he was about to look somewhere else, who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith? But why did Mr. Faith come into your room, sir? He probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess. Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right? And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into the office to check it out. Correct, and as a detective, that was the right thing to do. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there. Because it was Mr. Portsman, Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him. And then he killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind. You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that? Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room, and this is where it gets complicated. There was another visitor, sir. Yes, and this other person's objective was also to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize. The stolen zero file, right, sir? Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave the file, I appeared. Miles appears nonetheless. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during that brief encounter. So the shelves got getting messed up twice in the two bullets. It was all because two different people were doing those things at two different times. An Ace Attorney all is revealed moment, but it's Edgeworth's Breaking Bad video yesterday. Like, this is the moment Mr. Portsman became Heisenberg. Oh my god, you're so right. Actually, the moment Breaking Bad, I almost said the moment Breaking Bad became Heisenberg. Remember when Walt Breaking Bad? Drink your Walter. Stay hydrated. He will never be ballin'. Give me a sec, sorry. Okay, hi. Kidney finger. It was all because the two people were doing those things at two different times. Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met was just a thief, and was not, in fact, Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant, because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit. Objection. Phoenix? Ha 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 ha. What's so funny, pal? Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything. Of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth, after all. But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right, it would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. But there is still one defining point of your argument for which you have no evidence. Your supposition that I was the first visitor. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir. He can't keep getting away with it. But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point. Don't say that, sir. I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. If I'll do something, I'll do something if I must. You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was just a plain old thief, then why is that person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct. This freaking guy, dude. Part 2? You need to wrap up your alibis, buddy. This alibi has changed like 3 times now. That thief you ran into should be a real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down in criminal affairs. So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left. So you think we should be out there looking for the thief? Of course, now isn't the time to be wasting time on dead-end discussions. I don't think it's at all dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? Oh no. I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. Okay, so the 4th statement here. 2, 3, 4. We love that defense. While you're here casting suspicion on me, you could be out there actually fighting crime instead of dealing with me. Why didn't you go there with Mr. Faith? Ah, that's because he said he was tired and he was going to take a quick nap. You know those sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits. And what of the evidence he brought? They were things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items, a gun and a pendant. Interesting. This piece of testimony seems too crucial to let slip through the cracks. Okay, so he brought to okay, so we have note left by victim. Let's read that again. I brought the 3 pieces of evidence. He says 3 pieces of evidence. What happened to the other one? What happened to the other one? Only 2 pieces. I believe the proper phrase here is, you fail. Excuse me? You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me. What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you. Well, here's a piece I think you should read. Carefully. Ah, it says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces. Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman. I can't believe, to get tripped up by simple arithmetic. Where is the missing piece of evidence? You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe, you don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe. Don't come any closer. I'm warning you. This is all part of the investigation, pal, so don't even think about stopping me. No. Hey, what's this? He had this on him, sir. Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide. But why would he hide something like that? There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer. Oh no. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail. For the section of the tape that will drive the last nail into his coffin. Okay. Oh. Whoa. Ah, that's blood, isn't it? Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh. You mean this might be Detective Faith's blood? No, you've got it all wrong. No amount of denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us that you received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how the victim's blood found its way onto the video. Yeah, it's totally suspicious. Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his personage when you killed him? His personage. Guy who says personage. You know very well there's no way to prove that. Not even if we were to examine this tape for fingerprints? Nah. If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderous you and Mr. Faith. No, impossible. I'm... Oh, wow. He ate it. That was a good one. Mr. Portsman has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir. Very good. And the result we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back, and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there. And as a bonus, they were also able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well. Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth. It has some of the best. Oh, I'm excited for that. Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth. I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir. It was nothing. I'm sorry you got caught up in a murder in my office. Please accept my apologies. I was nothing, really. Compared to what I've been through, I mean. I consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir. If it had been a hold-up or a hostage situation, I'd have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person. Oh, that's cute. Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail. You know something, sir? That Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor. And why would you say he was corrupt? Well, I heard that there was a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he uses is forged, sir. Forged evidence, huh? I also do that. And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons. Ooh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession. We never did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office. Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just clammed up. Haha, I do that. Although we can be pretty certain that it was to steal something. This is just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes. Oh? Well. With Mr. Portsman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to that rumor. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this. Huh? Then Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy? I didn't say that, but rather that there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance of this piece of evidence. Wait, which one? Oh wait, the stolen file. Take that. The person who stole this file, the other villain of that night. Yeah, I wonder who it was. What happened to the stolen pages? I wonder, who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Yes? I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir. This card. Whoa. It's a greeting card from the Phantom Thieves. What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there? It's not just any bird. It is the mark of the raven. A three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, detective. Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? That great thief everyone was talking about. Wow, I was right. Yes, it is the mark of the great thief Yatakarasu. Under the mark of a legendary bird, The Yatakarasu is noble to the end, a modern Robin Hood. Ooh, interesting. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatakarasu appears and vanishes at will. Though we don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. The Yatakarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is set forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with a single card. Whoa, political intrigue. Although it has been a while since the Yatagarasu's last appearance. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, look, something's written on the back. What? Let me see. It's the location of where the thief put the stolen files. So that person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu? Whoa. Yatagarasu. Organization. Quite a few key words are popping up in this mystery. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. For they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. The end. Yay! We did it! First case down. Ayo! Oh my god, the next one though. Oh my god, the next one though. There we go. I'm so not ready. Oh my gosh. I'm in danger. It's this one. Yeah, it's this one. However, we're going to do that next week. My voice is shot. My head is not that great. I'm fine. I'll be okay. But yes, Franzi is back and she is better than ever, I assume. Actually, she's never bad. How can I say that? She's never bad. She's always good. She's always awesome. Love her. Love my girl Franzi. Yeah. Bit of a short one today, but I think that's going to be all for me tonight. I'm glad we got that last one done. Or the first one done. Blah! Nice. Nice good time. A good time was had by all. Thank you so much. Oh, I'll be okay. I will be a-okay and not much time at all. Maybe I just need to get some dinner in me. But yeah, we are gonna... Actually, I have a new game, an interesting indie game that I found that's on Game Pass called Frog Detective. I've heard a few people play it, but I know some people have said that I mostly only play 18 plus games on here, or like mature rated games on here. But glad you ditched work. Don't ditch work. That's important. Thank you though. But yeah, we're gonna play this game called Frog Detective. It's actually 3 games, but the Game Pass version is like all 3 games morphed into one, I guess. So we'll check that out. It's a fun little indie game. If you remember me playing Little Gator Game, it was kind of in that vibe, that sort of segment of games. Exploration-based indie games with cute graphics and funny writing and LOL memes. You know, it'll be a good time. We'll have some fun. And I should be able to knock out all 3. They're all about an hour in length. There's 3 games and they're all about an hour in length. I should be able to finish it. And yeah, that'll finish out the rest of my week. Oh, I forgot to mention. I got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I have Mario Kart on Switch now. So I think we'll probably work that into the variety rotation pretty soon. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that on Saturday. Yeah, I finally got it. So yeah, we'll definitely be checking that out. I haven't actually even played it yet. Maybe I'll pop in and see what's going on. I actually played the original on Wii U. Never played the Switch version though. So yeah, we'll work that in. Maybe we'll do it a little bit on Sunday. Or Sunday? No, it will be Saturday. Sorry. Yeah, Saturday. Today's Thursday. And I'll be back on Saturday. So maybe we'll do that on Saturday. It'll be a variety day. Yeah. Sounds great. I love that plan. That's a good plan. That's a good plan right there. Heck yeah. So, yeah. Alrighty. I hope you look forward to it, and we'll be coming back to this, of course, with Turnabout Airlines next week. Lots to look forward to this month, too. We got Infinite Wealth coming out later this month. It's going to be great. It's going to consume my life. It's going to destroy my life. I'll be ruined emotionally, and I'm going to love it. It's going to be a great time. All right. I will see you on Saturday. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Bye. Good night.